Who was Mohamed Jallow? The Old Dominion University shooting explained. In March 2026, a quiet morning at a university campus in Virginia suddenly turned into a scene of panic. Students were sitting in class at Old Dominion University when a gunman walked into a classroom and opened fire. Within minutes, one person was dead, two others were injured, and the campus was locked down. Authorities soon identified the shooter as Mohamed Baylor Jallow. But who was he? And how did his life lead to such a tragic moment? Mohamed Baylor Jallow was born in September 1989 in Sierra Leone, a country in West Africa. At some point in his life, he immigrated to the United States and later became a naturalized U.S. citizen. He eventually settled in Sterling, Virginia, a suburb outside Washington, D.C. Like many immigrants seeking opportunity, Jallow built a life in America and even joined the military. Jallow served in the Virginia Army National Guard for several years, part of the U.S. military reserve system. Members of the National Guard often train part-time while working civilian jobs. But during his time in the Guard, something began to change. Investigators later said Jallow became increasingly influenced by extremist propaganda online, including sermons from radical cleric Anwar al-Awlaki. These materials have been linked to the radicalization of several individuals in the West. By 2016, U.S. authorities believed Jallow had become sympathetic to the extremist group Islamic State. According to court documents, he attempted to send money to ISIS and discussed plans to carry out an attack inside the United States in support of the group. Federal investigators monitored his activities and eventually arrested him. In October 2016, Jallow pleaded guilty to attempting to provide material support to ISIS. The following year, he was sentenced to 11 years in federal prison. At the time, authorities described the case as a serious example of domestic radicalization. Jallow spent years in federal prison after his conviction. However, he was released from custody in December 2024, earlier than the full sentence length. After his release, he largely disappeared from public attention. For more than a year, little was known about what he was doing or where he was living. That changed suddenly in March 2026. On March 12, 2026, Jallow entered a classroom inside a building called Constant Hall at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. Reports say the class was connected to the ROTC program, which trains college students to become military officers. According to investigators, Jallow allegedly asked whether the class was an ROTC class. Moments later, he opened fire. The attack killed one person and injured two others. Authorities later said he shouted Allahu Akbar during the attack. The Federal Bureau of Investigation began investigating the incident as a possible act of terrorism. What happened next likely prevented an even greater tragedy. Several ROTC students in the classroom acted quickly. Instead of running away, they confronted the attacker and subdued him, stopping the shooting within minutes. Officials later praised the students for their bravery. Their actions likely saved lives. Jallow was killed during the confrontation and was declared dead at the scene. The attack shocked many people across the United States. It raised difficult questions about domestic radicalization, prison release monitoring, and security at schools and universities. The incident also highlighted the courage of the ROTC students who intervened during the attack. Authorities and community leaders praised them for preventing further loss of life. The story of Mohamed Jallow is ultimately a tragic one. It began with a young immigrant seeking opportunity in the United States. He joined the military and seemed to be building a stable life. But over time, exposure to extremist ideology led him down a dangerous path. His actions in 2026 resulted in loss of life and deep trauma for a university community. Acts of violence like this leave lasting scars, but they also remind us of the importance of vigilance, community strength, and the courage of individuals who step forward in moments of crisis.